Hi, Verbling. My name is Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and today we're talking about prepositions. Trin, welcome to class. Ooh. Are you there,
Hello,
Trin?
teacher.
There
Yes,
we go. Welcome to class, Trin. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You
Excellent.
said right.
I'm doing pretty well this week so far, having a relaxing week. What have you been doing today and yesterday, the beginning of the week? Hi, Verbling. My name's Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and today we're talking about prepositions. Trin, welcome to class. Ooh. I muted you guys because there is some feedback coming from audio, and I think it's coming from Antonio. I'm hearing myself 2 times, so you might have two Verbling pages open. Sometimes that'll cause an echo. And if you have any trouble, let me know in the chat box. So how are you, Antonio?
Hello. I'm fine, thanks. And
Hello.
you, Michaela?
Excellent. I'm doing really well. Having a good week so far. How's the beginning of your week going?
Well, now the week is good so far.
Awesome. We still have 3 more days until the weekend, so
Yes,
hopefully it will go well.
yes. The week pass. The week pass very fast.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Okay, and Martin, welcome to class.
Hi, teacher. How are
How
you?
are you today?
Very good, thanks.
I'm doing well also. Thank you for asking.
Wonderful.
And Ludovic, welcome to class.
Hello. Yeah, thank you.
I think
Uh,
this is the first time you've been in one of my classes, right, Ludovic?
yes, right. It's the first time I go to Verbring, and
Nice
I
to
don't
meet
know
you.
I don't know if my microphone works correctly. Yes.
It sounds okay to me.
Okay. Perfect.
Awesome. So, where are you from, Ludovic?
I live in France, in the southwest of France, in Toulouse.
Very cool. I'm
You
from
know.
Phoenix, Arizona. Nice to meet you.
Okay, nice to meet you.
All right. So, I put the notes for class in the chat box for you guys. And I will screen share for anyone who needs. The first thing we're doing in class today is just listing prepositions. So we're going to list as many prepositions as possible, and then we're going to turn them into a super long sentence like the one you see above. So let's list some prepositions. Starting with Antonio, can you give us a few prepositions?
Okay. Uh, where are sorry? Where are you in the world? Use athlete serving a preposition. Example: I am sitting in a chair on a pillow under my umbrella, in front of my computer, next to my cat, behind the table, between my brothers.
Okay, so that's an example sentence using lots of prepositions to make the sentence longer and longer. So it's a really long sentence, even though we just have one verb tense in the very beginning, one subject, and then the rest is prepositional phrases talking about where I am in relation to the world. So let's try to remember more prepositions. Can you remember any other prepositions, Antonio, aside from the ones that I have written here?
It about, but it isn't about the place. About.
Yeah, about is good. Perfect. Ludovic, can you think of any others?
You want an example of other prepositions?
Yeah, more prepositions.
Okay. Near to, close to.
Sure.
Uh, under.
Uh-huh.
Under.
Excellent. Thank you
At.
very much.
At.
At, yeah, that's a simple one we missed so far. Thank you. Martin, can you add any more to our list?
Yes, for example, below, above, maybe across, through, by, over. And what
Yeah.
else?
There are
Preposition.
tons.
Oof. In, into, onto.
Excellent. Thank you. You added several to our list. And Trin, can you think of any other prepositions that we could add to our list?
Among, above, over, beside, near, next to, opposite, opposite.
Excellent. All right, so using those prepositions that we just came up with, I'd like each of you to write a sentence similar to the one you see above. And write it possibly about where you are now, or you could make it a creative sentence about an imaginary situation, but use as many prepositions as possible. So in that sentence, we have 7. Try to use at least 7 prepositions. But if you can use more, then go for it. Use as many as possible. And when you're ready with your sentence, put it in the chat box. And 2 that I didn't hear mentioned are with and without. Those are very useful too in these kinds of exercises.
Sorry, how many prepositions we made in the sentence?
Try to use at least 7 prepositions. It's challenging because that's a lot, but I think since we just listed all of those prepositions, you guys are capable of meeting that challenge and writing a sentence with at least 7 prepositions. Maybe we can have some ambitious students get a few more than that. So write them in the chat box whenever you're ready, and then we'll read them together and talk a little bit about them. Do you have any questions, Ludovic?
Not a question, but I can try to tell my sentence.
Excellent. You can share it with us, and will you also type it in the chat box for us?
Okay, in the group chat.
Whichever one, could be the Verbling chat or the Google chat. Both are perfect.
I'm not sure I'm writing in the good chat window.
Whichever one you're writing in is totally fine. So as long as you see a place to write it in, then you're writing it in the right spot. You can put it in the same place you put your previous comment. Try to get your sentences in, even if they don't have 7 prepositions. So whatever you have ready, put it in the chat box and we'll discuss. Awesome. One is ready. Would you like to read your sentence for us, Ludovic?
Yes, but I have not 7 prepositions.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. I'm sure it'll be great anyways.
So, as I am studying English, I'm sitting in my sofa. My son is sleeping in his bedroom, and my laptop is put on my leg.
Excellent. Well done. And I would say put is not really necessary there, but everything else looks great. Wonderful use of those prepositions. Thanks, Ludovic.
Thank you.
And Martin, go ahead and read your sentence for us.
Yeah, sure. When I walked over the bridge, I saw a bird fly through a tunnel to the other end. 5 minutes later, I was jumping into the pool located close to my apartment, at my parents' property. Without shadow of a doubt, I was so happy to get away from that weird dream.
Wow, that's a creative one. Very nice.
Pretty much.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Antonio, read your sentence for us.
I am in a chair which is on the floor. I am in front of my laptop which is on the table. I am with a micro and the headphones next to my books, close to the windows, and I am under a ventilator. Under of?
Awesome. That would just be under the ventilator. We don't need the of there.
Preposition. Okay.
And I think there's a slight typo in the word floor.
Oh, sorry.
Other than that, it's awesome. Thanks, Antonio. And now we're just waiting on a couple. Vu, welcome to class.
Hello, teacher.
How are you, Vu?
Oh, thanks for asking. I'm doing well.
Excellent. Back for more.
What,
So,
teacher?
you're back for more. I saw you yesterday as well, didn't I?
Yes.
Yes. So you're determined this week, doing a lot of study. Awesome.
Yes.
And the students just got finished writing a sentence with as many prepositions as possible. And the goal was 7. So if you'd like to get started, you're welcome to write a sentence with 7 prepositions.
Oh,
And they
7.
only, yeah, I know, it's a lot. And it might take a few minutes, but if you're willing, you can go ahead and try it, and we will discuss it when you're ready.
Yes, teacher.
All right. Trin, do you have your sentence ready? Trin, are you there?
Yes, my preposition is not 7 and keeping it.
Okay, so you're still thinking. Whatever you have ready, just put in the chat box for us, and we'll go over it. All right. You guys did an excellent job with these sentences. I know 7 is a difficult goal, but prepositions are, I think they're interesting because you could make a sentence go on infinitely if you wanted to. If you wanted to describe exactly where you are in the world, the sentence could go on forever, really, because you can just add on more and more prepositions. So what we're going to be doing today is a review of lots of prepositions. I have some specific lessons on prepositions, but this is a general overview. So we're going to be filling in the blank of this exercise, and everyone will read a sentence and we'll try to decide together what the best prepositions are for each blank. And at the end, we'll have a whole story that we will have read. But before we do that, Vu, do you have a sentence or at least a partial sentence for us? Or are you
Uh,
going to take a little more time to do it and we'll read it later?
yes. Wait me a minute. 1 minute. Uh,
All right. And Trin, can you read us your sentence? Oh, there we go. Vu, go ahead and read us yours.
I'm sitting on a chair on the second floor next to another chair, and I am working on my working desk behind my bed.
Excellent. A slight
My bed.
misspelling with bed, but other than that, it's great. Wonderful sentence. Trin, would you like to read us yours, or do you need a little more time?
Few seconds,
Go ahead and read us whatever you have and put it in the chat box if you can.
okay. I am sitting on the floor. My computer is between sofa and the wall. The clock is over the wall. My desk is behind me. My bed is near my fan. My bed is under the table. My pillow is on the bed.
Excellent. That's a great image of where you are right now. Okay, so let's get started with our fill in the blank. And remember that context helps determine what preposition fits best. So usually the best way to go is to read the entire sentence and then go back to try to fill in the blanks. For example, the first sentence, he got blank blank his car and walked blank the street. So I'll go back and then fill them in after I've already seen exactly what the sentence is trying to say. Does anyone have an idea what the first two blanks are?
Out of.
Yes, out of. And that's easy to see because at the end, we know that he was walking in the street. So if there was something about his car in the beginning, we know that he's not getting in his car because he started walking, and usually in your car you'd be driving. So he got out of his car and walked. Any ideas?
Across,
okay,
maybe.
Across the street. That would be one way to fill that in. And sometimes these blanks will have more than one possible solution. So other ones that I've heard for this blank, we could say along the street, into the street, but across the street works really well. So we'll leave that one as across. The next sentence, let's have Antonio read it, and then we'll go back and try to fill in the blanks together.
Okay. He walked the building, the other side, the street.
All right. So what about the first one? He walked at the building?
Or to the building.
Yeah, I think 2 is a little bit better because we know he was in the street and then all of a sudden we hear building. So there has to be some kind of direction there. Like he walked from the street to the building. So he walked to the building, blank the other side. Any ideas?
I think he walked into the building.
That's another way we could say it. Into works really well because then we have the direction and where he is. Now he's inside the building. So if we said that he walked into the building, what's the next blank?
The other side of the
Walk to.
Yeah, to, and I think I heard someone say the next one as well, to the other side of the street. So, in this sentence, we've completed it in one possible way, but I think the first blank we could change. He walked into the building to the other side of the street. That works pretty well, but we could also say through the building to the other side of the street. All right, so both of those are possible. Next, let's see. Martin, will you read the next sentence for us?
Yeah, sure. He walked to the stairs, probably.
Oh yeah, that's a short one, huh? Sure, yeah, he walked to the stairs. That works. What other preposition could we put here? Any ideas? There's one other preposition. What can you do with stairs? Yeah, up. Exactly. So he could walk to the stairs, or he could walk up the stairs. Next sentence, Trin, can you read it for us?
Yes, of course. Someone who was coming blank blank. The building held the door open blank him.
All right, so
Someone was coming into the building.
We could say coming into the building, held the door open.
Open.
And what's that last one? Does anyone have an idea here?
Behind, maybe? Behind him?
Okay, could be behind him. So someone was coming into the building, held the door open behind him. That works perfectly. Another one we could put there would be for. Both would be great. And Vu, can you read the next sentence for us?
Oh, the next sentence. He looked. He looked for. He look up the worm on the.
So read the whole sentence with the blanks and then go back and try to fill them in. Sometimes it's easier once you know exactly all the words we
Okay.
have in this sentence.
Okay. He looked. Blank the worm. Blank the list. Blank names. I think the list of names.
Yeah,
The worm.
so the list of names, awesome. And what about the first two?
First. Look up.
I think
Okay.
Up. I think
he
up.
looked
Up
the
the
wall.
list?
Look up the worm.
The wall
Yeah.
to the list of names.
Yeah. So we could say he looked at the wall up the list of
And
names.
huh?
That works well. And the next one, Antonio, can you read it?
He stood blank, blank, blank the door.
So this is a three-part preposition, and it's one we've used already today. Can anyone think of which one this would be?
He stood in front of the door.
Exactly, in front of the door. Martin, will you get the next sentence for us?
Someone who was going to the building let him in.
All right, to the building and let
To the
him
building,
in.
let him in, exactly.
Awesome. And next sentence, which begins on the next page, Trin, can you read it for us?
Then he reached in his pocket and took out a piece of paper. He reached
Awesome. So what do we think? For the first blank, he reached.
I have no idea. His pocket and took.
Can anyone help us out here? What can you do with your pocket? No ideas?
Mm.
Maybe through his pocket.
Okay. So if he reaches through his pocket, that would mean that he has a very large hole in his pocket. So his arm is just going straight through. Any other ideas? Maybe someone said it and I didn't hear it yet. It's a pretty simple one.
In.
Yeah, in or into. Both of those would work. So he reached into his pocket and took. So his hand went in and the paper came
Took
out.
out.
Yes. He reached in his pocket and took out a piece
Of paper.
of paper. Awesome. Vu, read the next sentence for us. Oh, actually, read the next two sentences for us.
He noticed there was some dry, blank puke, blank the floor, to blank a couch, blank the hallway. He walked blank the hallway and knocked blank the door.
Okay, so we actually skipped a little part there. The last part of the paragraph above was he saw the number 29. He thought blank himself. It's a good thing I wrote that number blank.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
oh no, that's okay. No worries. In fact, you got to a very interesting part of our story. But let's fill in those first blanks under he thought blank himself.
He thought about himself.
It might be about himself, but probably not. Because if you're thinking about yourself, you're thinking like, oh, I am wonderful, or I am stupid, or I did. You're thinking something with I. But he doesn't say I. He says, it's a good thing I wrote that number blank. So he wasn't really thinking about himself. He was thinking
For,
not from either,
for teacher.
not for.
Oh. He talk.
No other ideas? It's a two-letter preposition. Two letters. Two small little letters here.
True teacher.
No, two letters. It's just two letters.
Later. At.
Not
In,
at.
on, at.
In.
Not
In,
not in, not on.
Oh,
Huh? What was that last one?
4.
Nope, just two letters.
Two.
It's a two-letter. Yes. Yeah, it's two. So he thought to himself. So when you think to yourself, it means you just have a private thought like, oh, this was good, or some kind of private thought. So he thought to himself, it's a good thing I wrote that number.
On.
No.
Oh.
This one is a four-letter.
Down. Without
Down, yes, exactly. Good thing I wrote that number down. Awesome.
Down.
So, on to the next paragraph, which we already read. So now we just have to fill in the blanks. But before we do that, let's define the word puke for anyone who does not know. What does the word puke mean?
Like a vomit, like
Mm-hmm.
something similar to vomit.
Exactly, vomit. So it's not a very pretty thing. So he noticed there was some dried blank puke, blank the floor, blank blank a couch, blank the hallway. We have a lot of blanks here. So let's try to get the first one. Dried, two-letter preposition.
At
No
puke on the floor.
Uh-huh, but what comes before puke?
At puke on the floor.
Not
No.
at.
In.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
And.
Did he say on?
And.
Nope, not and. That's a conjunction. It is a two-letter preposition. So we said not in, not at. Pesky prepositions. This one is directional.
To.
Nope. Not in, at, or to. Not on. It's a direction. Two letters. Not down, but
Up.
up. There we go.
Up. Yeah.
You notice there was some dried up puke. Blank the floor.
On the floor.
On the floor. Excellent. And then blank blank a couch.
About. No. Mm,
Close to.
Could be close to. That works. Next to. Either of those would be wonderful. Next to or close to a couch. Blank the hallway.
in the hallway.
In the hallway. Awesome. All right. Antonio, can you read the next sentence and fill in the blanks for us?
Okay. He worked in the hallway and knocked blanket the door. Knocked out? No. Knock out.
That would be a funny one, but nope, that's not it.
Walk in or on the hallway?
Well, for the first one, he's already in the hallway because we talked about the hallway a little earlier. He says he sees the puke on the floor near a couch in the hallway. So we know he's already in the hallway. Once he's in the hallway, what could he do with this long path before him? So it probably wouldn't be in. What else could we put there? We would use the same preposition with a river. We wouldn't walk in a river, we would walk
across, along the hallway.
along. Along would be great, or down. You could say he walked down the hallway or he walked along the hallway, meaning that he was walking the path of the hallway. So he walked along the hallway and knocked.
Knocked to the door.
2 is okay, but there's a better one because the door is a surface.
On the door.
On the door. That's one. All right. Martin, will you read the next sentence for us and try to fill in those blanks?
Yeah. Almir came to the door and let him in.
Thank you very much. Simple.
No worries.
Trin, get the next one for us.
They sat at the table.
What was the first one you said? They sat what?
They sat on the table.
So what could we put here? Anyone have a suggestion?
Next to.
Okay, they sat next to a table. So why would you sit next to a table? That's the question. What do people usually do with a table? Do they sit next to the table? Not usually. You can sit next to a table, and that fits in this blank, but there's one that's a little bit more common and makes a little more sense.
They sat in front of the table.
Not quite, although that's a good guess. Vu, do you have any suggestions for us?
I think because they sat on the chair, and the chair is next to a table, so they sat next to a table.
Okay, you could sit next to a table.
By the table?
By the table would also work, but we have 2 blanks here. So what's the first blank? If the second one is by, what's the first one? And this first preposition kind of relates to the verb sat.
Down,
so I could say, yes, down.
They sat down by the table?
Yes, they sat down by the table, or they sat down at the table. Both would be great. All right. And Bill, can you read? Oh.
I don't understand, teacher. Sat down by. That means they sat without a desk, without a chair.
Well, it doesn't say specifically with or without a chair. I think the best way to complete this sentence would be saying they sat down at the table, because at the table would mean that they're actually sitting down using chairs or possibly some other sitting, but in that case, you can tell they're using the table. You can also say sat down by a table, but that doesn't give us as much information because it doesn't specify are they using the table or are they not. It doesn't tell us. It's less specific. So if you say
Uh,
at the table, I know that they're using the table. And if you don't, then I'm not really sure if they're using the table or not. But no matter what, it doesn't really tell us where they're sitting. They could be in chairs or they could be, if it were a really low table, maybe they were sitting on the floor. It's a little unspecific. Vu, can you read the next two sentences for us and fill in that one little blank there?
yep. They asked how he got there. He told them he came by car.
Awesome. Well done. By car. Martin, can you read the next, the next two sentences for us?
Yeah, sure. They asked him where he parked his car. He said he parked it in the street or or along the street, maybe.
In the
Probably the
street would
best
be
one. In
okay.
the street, yeah, thanks.
All right. And Trin, next sentence.
Okay, they talked with a little while.
So what can we use here? It's like a preposition that can be used for time.
At,
What?
at,
Up? Not quite.
at.
At? Nope. Not at. At is usually directional or locational. This one is more frequently used with time. No one has an idea? It's a three-letter yeah, there we go, 4. They talked for a little while. And Vu, can you read the next one for us?
He took some papers. Like his work. Is this into?
Okay, so you could say that, but it doesn't quite work with the verb take.
Oh, out of teacher.
Yes, exactly. So in this case, he took some papers out of his bag. And we could say into if we had the verb like put or place. Then into would be fine. All right, Martin, get the last sentence in that paragraph.
Yeah. He told them to keep the papers in a 3-ring binder.
Excellent. Trin, the first sentence in the next paragraph.
After the meeting was when he put his paper and book in his bag. After meeting was
This is a tough one. I don't think we've used this one yet. It's a 4-letter preposition.
4 letters.
Mm-hmm. And while you guys think about that one, Francis, welcome to class.
Thank you, teacher. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good to have you with us. Do you have the notes open?
Now I open, but my camera no is working.
Ah, okay. Well, I put the notes, a link to the notes in the chat boxes for you guys, and we're just finishing up an exercise that's fill in the blank. We have one more paragraph to go. So right now we're trying to figure out what words go in the first two blanks of this paragraph. After the meeting was blank, he put his papers and books blank his bag.
He put his paper and books in his bag, but
Yeah. In his
I have
bag.
no idea the first thing.
Does anybody else have an idea what we might say about the meeting?
Over.
Over, yes. Another time-related preposition. So after the meeting was over, he put his papers and books in his bag, or into his bag, whichever one. Vu, can you read the next one for us?
They talked for a while longer.
And Francis, would you like to read a sentence and try to fill in the blank, or are you just getting situated in class? Would you like me to wait a while before asking you more questions?
Okay, I will try. Sebastian told him that he stay up Monterey.
Monterey is a city, so
Okay.
where are you from, Francis?
On Monterey, in Monterey,
In
Sebastian
Monterey works really well, yeah. Thank you very much. And what's
for
the
9
next
days
one? In Monterey for 9 days before he was finally able to come.
on the border.
Maybe on the border, but on the border means that the person did not enter the country. So if we say on the border, it means that we're going along the border, but not entering a country. What would be the meaning for actually entering the country? What's another preposition we could put there? 4 letters long. Anyone have an idea on this one?
It must be across the border.
Okay, yeah, could be across. I was thinking of over, but both of those would work really well. So to the border would be okay, but again, that gives us the meaning of he stopped at the border. So if we say on the border or to the border, it means he got to the location of the border, but then did not cross in or enter. So Sebastian or Sebastian told him that he stayed in Monterey for 9 days before he was finally able to come across the border or over the border. And Martin, read the next sentence, the next two for us.
Yeah. He picked up his bag. He walked to the door.
Awesome. Trin, can you get the next two sentences for us?
All three said good night. He stepped in the hallway and thought to the then the dry puke in the floor.
All right. So we have the dried up puke on the floor. Well done. And what were the first two?
He stood maybe in the hallway.
In works, but because there's motion involved in this action, we might want to make that a little longer. In 2 more letters. It's in plus 2 more letters?
Into.
Yes, into, because there's motion involved. So he stepped into the hallway and thought.
And got to the dry.
Not to. Anyone else have an idea? 5 letters.
Both.
say of, that works. So you could say of or you could say about. Both would be good. So he stepped into the hallway and thought of or thought about the dried up puke on the floor. And Vu, read the next one for us.
He walked up to the he walked up the stairs and stepped outside of the cool air.
Okay. The first one is possible, but if you remember, when he was coming into the building, he walked up the stairs. So if he's leaving the building, he probably did not go more
Yes,
up, he probably reversed it.
walk down.
Yeah, probably. So he walked down the stairs and stepped outside.
Up,
Did you say of?
up,
O-F?
up,
Out? Off.
up.
Off. Off the cold air. Maybe. This one's kind of more like the hallway where we have direction. And we have motion. He's stepped outside. So
I don't know.
it's a 4-letter preposition. Can anyone help us
Yeah.
here? It's got motion involved. Very similar to the preposition that we used for the hallway.
Into the cold
Uh-huh.
air.
Yeah, into the cold air. And Martin, can you finish this paragraph for us?
Yeah. He got into his car and drove away.
Excellent. Congratulations, guys. This was a long story full of prepositions, and we finished it together. So, do you guys have any questions or comments so far?
I think no.
Let's talk a little bit about what we were reading in this story. Trin, do you have any idea what this story was about?
No. Sorry.
No problem. Sometimes it's easy to get so focused on these blanks that it's hard to keep track of that story. Vu, any idea what this story was about?
I think talk about a man. They he he went to his office, and after that come back home and go to the supermarket. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely got pretty close. There was a man and he went into a building and it could have been some kind of office. And Martin, can you give us any other details from what we read in this story?
Probably the story is about a meeting. Somebody that came into a building to join a meeting,
Mm-hmm.
then took his car and drove away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
I think you
just
guys are all pretty close.
just in talking about a meeting, somebody a meeting into a building, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else.
Okay, so you guys are all very close, but I think there's a little more detail you guys could get. I encourage you to read this story again and try to understand exactly what it's talking about. And there are a couple clues here. We have this guy's name, this guy who lives in the building or was already in the building when the other guy came. His name is Almir. And they talked about another person, Sebastian, and they stayed in Monterey for 9 days. So we're talking about two people who have very different names, and they stayed in Monterey for 9 days before they were able to come across the border. So this might give you a clue as to what the story was talking about. But read it again, and I'm sure you guys will really understand the information better. And thank you for sticking with me through to the end of class. I have another class coming up right now where we're talking about the history of Post-it notes. And it'll be a listening class. So we'll listen to a report and then discuss a little bit and possibly read if we have time as well. If you guys are interested, I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for coming, guys. See you again soon.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Bye, teacher. Thanks.